Hey, this is Bo with Focused Engagement. I am here with Kenny from KG Strength Training. He actually is my personal trainer, or was until I slacked off and quit coming, and he's been bugging me.
A little offended, but it's all good.
So it's nothing personal. It's just that I don't like you much.
It's 2020.
So Kenny owns a personal gym called KG Strength. Oh, by the way, Kyle, I know you're listening. I have my phone. If anything starts going weird, text me because I can't see my tablet right now. So let me know something's going weird so I can fix it. So, all right, Kenny, you have been doing personal training for how long now?
It's been 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Now, you played football for the University of Utah?
Yes.
As a kicker?
Yes.
And then you went on. After that, you got what was your bachelor's in, by the way?
My bachelor's was in humanities. I got it in speech communications.
Okay. But then you went on for a master's.
I did. I got a master's degree from Gonzaga University in sport and athletic administration.
So it's fair to say, and I assume you obviously played football in high school.
Yes.
Do any other sports in high school?
I did wrestling.
Okay, so it's fair to say that sports and exercise has been a fairly important part of your life for a majority of your life anyway.
Yes. Yeah, athletics has definitely been a part of my entire life.
So why did you decide to open your own gym?
I think I always wanted to. I just never thought it would be realistic for me to go into the entrepreneur route and actually start my own business and start up a gym. So I just kind of follow the footsteps of many people just looking for different jobs. I sold insurance. I used to fill up propane tanks for a living. I used to coach youth football, just kind of did little jobs. And then eventually I just thought, maybe I should try to open up a gym and start in a 500 square foot location and see how it does for a couple months.
And obviously it worked if it's 4.5 years later.
Yeah, I was rotating between 2 or 3 jobs, including the gym, so I was just kind of going into a big circle every day. And then eventually, 1 month I had 4 clients, and then the next month I had 8 clients, and then after that I just had like 20 clients, and it kept building and building to a point where I was able to quit all my other jobs, and then I became full-time here. And then I doubled, tripled, quadrupled my revenue from all my other jobs put together. And so I was able to do all that and, able to get a house and do all that.
Let me ask you, how scary was it when you quit your jobs that you were at least making a steady income and knowing that you were going to rely solely on your own business for your income?
Oh, I was scared. Definitely scared. And the funny thing is that I remember one experience when I got to that point where I quit all my other jobs and I was doing this full time. I think maybe 2 weeks later, half of my clients quit because they ran into financial problems, they ran into family problems, or they moved out of state, or they got fired. And so a lot of my clients just kind of fell off my list. And then I got really worried. I was like, crap, I just quit everything, and now half my clients are gone, and my revenue just got cut in half. And so I had to work that much harder to bring them all back, or to get new people back. And so it was extremely scary. It's still scary till this day. I don't think I'm ever comfortable. I'm always looking for ways to improve the gym because, I don't know, that's kind of what it takes as an entrepreneur. I don't think you can ever be comfortable.
You can't rest on your laurels.
No, not at all. And even though I have multiple trainers in here, I can't ever just rely on them to do the work. I still have to do my part and go above and beyond every week, and I don't rely on anyone but myself to get things done. And that's just kind of, I don't know, the entrepreneur life.
Yeah, it's simultaneously exciting and dreadful.
Yes.
I definitely understand that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
definitely.
and you got your good months and you got your bad months.
Yep.
But still, personally, I've been in business in one form or another for 15 years, and I just can't imagine doing anything else. It's going back to working for somebody is just not in the cards for me.
Yeah, it's something not an option. It's you get comfortable to where you don't have to listen to anyone above you, but the responsibility that you have to take then is like, you're the man, you're the guy. You have to make sure everything is in order. You got to make sure everything is done, because there's no one above you. So if you mess up, then the whole business can just crumble.
Yeah.
So you're actually working more hours and spending more time than you would at just a regular job.
And especially now, because you opened up a second location in Lehigh.
Yep, in Lehigh. Yeah, we just opened up a second one over there. And so I'm working at both of them, and also managing both locations. But I coach at both of them.
So what do you find, people like me, I know I need to go to the gym more often. And I know for a fact that going to a personal trainer is so much better, because I'm sure most people are like me. We go to a gym, and yes, I know how the equipment works, but knowing how the equipment works and doing it right in the right order and the right amount still isn't. It's hard unless you are a professional like you. It's not an easy thing. So, but I know my excuse has always been time. So, what excuse do you hear a lot? Is that the biggest one, or?
Yeah, you hear that from, as far as just people trying to reach their fitness goals.
Yeah.
You mean? Yeah, definitely time. I don't have time to do it. I work all day. I don't have time to make my own dinner, so I eat out a lot, and that's why I put on weight or I get unhealthy. Those are pretty common things.
And it's ironic, because I'm a big believer that you do have the time. We have the time to do anything we need to do in life, whether it's build your business or whatever it is. It's a matter of having it be a priority enough to make that time. And I think the ironic thing, especially for small business owners like us, is that by not making the time to eat right, to exercise right, to go to a personal trainer, we're doing ourselves a disservice, because we are working so much that we're wearing ourselves down, and not having that proper exercise routine and that proper diet is making it so we can't work as effectively as we could otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. You're hearing it on Facebook Live. I'm starting back here, because I got to get back, and I got to get back to my goals.
All right.
So I talked myself into it. Look at that. You didn't have to say anything.
Yes.
So what? Speaking of other gyms, what value do you bring to the table that somebody can't get by just going to, say, it's not Gold's anymore. I can never remember their actual name now. Vasa.
Vasa.
Because obviously they have personal trainers there. So what value do you bring to the table that they can't get by going to a larger competitor?
Yeah, I think, personally, I've never worked at a larger gym, but I have lots of clients that have come from those gyms over here, and so I've heard of their stories and their experiences, and what I hear from them is they almost feel like they're just like a part of like a dispensing machine over there. There's just like there's kind of like a one program thing, and everyone does that over there. And trainers are constantly there's a high turnover in trainers at a lot of those larger gyms. So you may get one trainer for a month, and you get a new trainer. And so that connection, that personal connection doesn't really exist for very long between you and another trainer. And so, I'm here always. I've been here for 4.5 years. And so if you started with me 4 years ago, you're still going to be with me. And so I know who you are, I know your goals, I know your habits, I know your lifestyle. Usually, and most people are going to be open in a smaller setting like this, because it's a private setting. You don't have hundreds of people walking around you listening to your conversations, and you're not going to be worried about people staring at you. We're not waiting in line to use equipment in here. We just go boom, boom, boom. We just go, and you're going to get a more effective workout versus at another gym. So there's definitely lots of benefits to working somewhere like this.
So I'm going to throw out one more that he didn't mention. I'm going to tell you a little story behind it.
Yes.
First, I'm going to tell you, I live out in Stansbury Park, and so there is a Vasa in our area, and my wife was going to it. She had a personal trainer there. She is a firefighter, so obviously a very busy schedule, and she had to drop many of her scheduled appointments with her trainer. And I guess on one hand you could say he's being understanding. Let me make sure that's not somebody saying, your sound's off. I guess on one hand you could say he was being understanding, but on the other hand I'd say he didn't really seem to care much. He was just like, oh yeah, okay, just reschedule when you want. Now Kenny, on the other hand, when nope, that doesn't seem to be anything wrong with our sound. Good. Kenny, on the other hand, if you have to reschedule with him, he is on and say, all right, when are we going to redo it? Let's say I have these times available. He's on you. He is, I swear, when I was coming here regularly, he cared more about my goals than I cared about my goals. And I really thought, so when I look at going to a big gym, and one of the reasons why I don't go to a trainer there is, like you said, I don't want to be out on display. I have a hard enough time as it is. So, but coming here, I knew you cared. It was obvious that you cared. Whereas there, it seemed to be more of just a job for them. And if you're a Vasa trainer, it's not against you. There's probably some great Vasa trainers and trainers at gyms, but that was just our experience with who we had. So, but yeah, you care, and I know your trainers are the same way. They care more about their clients than, I mean, that's why they're doing what they're doing. So to me, that is why I came here, is that feeling of knowing that you had a desire to help me reach my goals, and it really, if I was off my goal that month or that week or whatever, I actually felt guilty. I felt like I had to give you an excuse, and
I didn't even have to do that. You just felt guilty. I didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah, I just knew that you were that you cared, and in your own way you were disappointed, not in me but for me, And
I get disappointed because I know you're going to be disappointed.
Yes. So and it actually made me want to work harder. So that's my story behind why Kenny is such a fantastic trainer.
Thank you, Bo.
So, all right. So you got your big Vossen. There's 24 Hour. There's a few different. Is there a lot of small gyms like you? Are they?
Yeah.
You have a lot of competition from other trainers?
Yeah, there are. There's lots of other smaller gyms, but I think there's so many. I mean, we can only fit so many people in at a small gym at a time because it is all one-on-one. There is competition, but I feel like at this point, I mean, Salt Lake's been booming with business. I mean, there's been, from what I've heard from one guy who works for a company that just oversees a lot of freelance work and stuff, he told me that there's been 80 new personal trainers in the last 4 years in Salt Lake. So I think right now to start a gym would probably be kind of hard. Just because there's so many out there. But I'm at that point where I've been around for a while that I get a lot of referrals. A lot of referrals are coming in, and that's how the business has been staying alive and doing so well, is because we do a good job in here, but people are wanting to share it with their friends and families. But I think if you just started right now, it is kind of hard, I'll be honest.
So it's a hard one to break into. So if somebody wanted to break into this industry, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open to helping people start a business. But the biggest thing is just to make sure, like, when I get new trainers in here, I always let them know, is this something you really want to do? Because if this is what you're going to do, it's hard work. It's not very easy. I mean, to find your own clients and rely on that to be your main source of income, it's extremely hard. So whatever you're doing in your past and your old jobs, just plan on working 2-3 times harder just to get it going, and then it'll get to a point where it gets a little bit easier. But my main advice is just expect yourself to be on the computer a lot and reaching out to people on social media, inviting people constantly. I think it's important to, at the beginning, to make yourself busy and make yourself look busy. So even if you have 0 clients, get your friends and families in just so you can take pictures and videos and build your Facebook page. Make it look like there's stuff going on, and then have them leave reviews for you and make it look like things are happening, even though it may not be happening. but other people outside don't know that, and they'll be like, wow, this gym's booming with people, and they don't know it's your family and friends in there. But eventually people will see that, and they're going to start, they'll start getting phone calls and some messages and say, hey, I see your pictures of your gym and all those people, it looks really cool, can I sign up? And that does start to happen. But I'd say my main advice is just stay busy and leave all like the parties and activities and stuff you like to do, set that off to the side for the first 6 months and just focus and dial in on the business for 100% and do that. Give up your weekends, give up your late nights, and just focus on it, because eventually it pays off. It always does pay off, but it does suck.
There's an old saying about owning a business. It says owning a business is great. You get to work half days, and you can even choose the first half or the last half of the day.
Yes.
So, and that's pretty true. Yeah, long hours, a lot of dedication, a lot of sleepless nights, worrying.
That's if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to live both lives, you'll be half successful. But if you want to really be successful, you do have to give up a lot and stay focused. But I'd say my main advice, though, is just to be busy and look busy, and it pays off.
Excellent. Well, I guess I should have worn my glasses, because my wife did say sounds a little off, but we're dialing it in, getting a little bit better all the time. So,
yes.
But Kenny, thank you so much. Any last words you want to say about your gym? Go right ahead. You got at least 5 people watching.
Yes, good. Well, if you're interested in coming to just check it out, you can just go on Facebook or Google KG Strength Training and reviews. We've got 50 5-star reviews. You can check out everything people have said. You can look at pictures and videos. And if you want to come by for a session, I'll offer you a trial session, and we can go from there.
Excellent. And I will personally endorse him. He is fantastic. So, well, thank you, Kenny, very much. I'm going to sneak over and turn this off, so just kind of stare and look pretty at the camera for a minute.
All right.
Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you guys next Friday.